Hey Lionhearts, how are you all today? I hope you said well. I'm in a great mood. I'm going to do a filming location vlog today, and it's something that my mom showed me when I was a kid. It's one of those classic, I mean, it defines classic 80s comedies, and you may have never heard of it. I'm not sure why it's not bigger than it is, but good thing about it is that you can watch it for free on YouTube. Just type in moving violations and you can watch it anytime you want. Pretty good version of it too, like really nice and clear. This movie is amazing. It stars John Murray, who is Bill Murray's younger brother, and to me, timing wise, reaction, everything, he's as good as Bill ever was in his prime in this movie. He just carries the movie. It's so funny, and I've actually done one of the filming locations once before. If you remember, we went to the big donut hole. Literally, it was called the donut hole. But it was like a big half donut that you drove through and everything, and I took us out there and showed where early on in the movie, Deputy Halik has already given Dana Cannon, played by John Murray, a ticket, and he sees that what he thinks is Dana Cannon's car is parked illegally there and tells him to move his car. He doesn't move the car, so Halik destroys the car only to find out that it's his police chief, who is also at the donut shop's car. And so Halik is demoted. And I did that location once before, but I've never got to do anything else. And today we're gonna go, I found out where Deputy Halik's house is. And that's one of my favorite chunks, one of my favorite scenes in the movie. So we're gonna go out and check it out today. I hope you guys enjoy this. If you've never seen Moving Violations, I guess maybe you might wanna pause this. Go watch it if you have time, but if not, maybe seeing this will entice you to want to go see the movie because it's really funny. You get the Where's the Beef lady's in this, Fred Willard is in this. Yeah, it's just a really great cast, and every moment there's a laugh. So Daze with Jordan the Lion, a little bit of filming location today for Moving Violations, and it's a great theme song. Doon, 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 doon. So the locations that we're doing today are up in Simi Valley. This movie, they filmed it all over the place. Scenes downtown in El Segundo, Pasadena, Long Beach. They just filmed it everywhere, so it's too hard to do in one day. Plus, I'm long-winded when I get to these places, and I like to tell what happened in the movie. This is one of my favorites, so I figured we'll just keep it to the two locations that are up in Simi Valley today. It's a pretty nice scenic drive out here, I won't deny that. Santa Susana Pass out here. Looks like they spruced up the smiley face in the side of the hill over here. They added some red and everything. It's a little different every time we come. So I mentioned that Deputy Halik gets a demotion. His demotion is that he has to teach the traffic school. He's demoted to all the people that we've seen up until this point early on in the movie, all getting pulled over and getting a ticket for bad driving. He now has to instruct them. And what ends up happening is that the judge, played by Sally Kellerman, pulls him into her office and says, the man who used to teach this course retired, a very wealthy man. What we do is we put people through this driving course and they never pass, so we auction off their cars, and between you and I, we will split the proceeds. So that's what he ends up deciding to do, because he hates these people so much that that's his only retaliation, is to take their cars away. And so he and Sally Kellerman now on the side are having an affair that we see inside this house. So right here is the house. The scene right before this, we see Dana Cannon telling all the people that have now failed their course, they all passed the written, but the driving he made impossible. So Dana says, we should be going after the guy who took our cars away. So they come here at night, and you see Halik's car, his police car, is parked in that far spot right there. At the time, those were not double garage doors. And we see the whole crew go up this side, and they go around, they look in his bedroom window. And while they're looking in the bedroom window, they see him with like whips and chain type S&M gear on, and him and Sally Kellerman are rolling around in the bed, making love. So they're peering in through a window that would have been right up this side, and then they all come walking out here, and it's the mechanic, Doc, the mechanic, who's Fred Willard. It's Dana Cannon. It's the old Mrs. Halik, who she becomes real instrumental in this scene. So they all come out here and they get underneath the car, underneath his car, and they start working on the car all night long. And what they're doing is they're making it so his car only drives in reverse. So this was Halik's house. So while they're in there making love, he hears the tools hitting the ground, says, "What's that noise?" But they just go back to doing what they're doing. And then in the morning, while they're finishing up, right as they're coming out from underneath the car right here, we see Virginia. That's Halik's partner, who he's also been sleeping with. We see her pull up here in her police car, and she asks what they're doing. And then she hears the noise inside, and all of them run across here, up the side, and they go and they watch in through the window, and they see, well, Virginia now for the first time sees the judge and Halik making love, and she sees the ledger and says, "You see that ledger over there? That details how they were going to sell your cars and split the profits. If you get this downtown to Chief Fromm, he'll throw the book at him." So they're trying to figure out how they're gonna sneak in. They cheated a little bit in the movie because they're looking in through a window that would have either been in the back or on the side for all the bedroom scenes, but then they realize that the only window that's open is a bathroom window. So the bathroom window must have been on the side, because you can actually see the window that they were looking at from the side, off to the side from the bathroom window. So they realize there's only one person who can fit in that tiny little window, and it's Mrs. Halik. So we get a fantastic shot of them hoisting her up and feeding her in through the window, and you see like a split leg shot, and so she goes in there, goes inside the bedroom, and is trying to work her way across the room, and ends up falling on the bed. So while they're making love, she's bouncing around on the bed, and Dana Cannon said, "I hope Miss Halik's on the pill." But she ends up getting the ledger and then comes running through the house, and right when she gets it, she slams the door against the wall, and that way Halik and the judge realize someone was in there. So we see her come running out this door, and Deputy Halik, that's crazy that her name was Halik and his name was Deputy Halik, but Halik comes running out here with the judge, and right at the doorway we see, and that's actually it's the same door, they've repainted it, but we see right in the doorway Virginia confronting the judge, and they start fighting. And then Halik comes running out here, sees all the people that he knows from the traffic school filing into Virginia's police car right here. And you can actually see that house in the background. At the time there was a Winnebago over here, but you can see this house and that one as well in the background. And they hop in the car and take off with that ledger to basically go destroy Halik's life. So Halik gets in his police car right here as Virginia and the judge are in there having like a cat fight, pulling each other's hair, throwing each other around, and they actually would have been fighting in the room that was originally right here before that double garage door. But you can tell if you've seen the movie why they had to make this a double garage door, because what they've done to Halik's car is they made it so his car will only travel in reverse. So he goes to throw it in gear to chase them down the road to stop him, and his car backs right through the inside of the house and stops. And the judge looks at him and she says, "Well, I would have come to you." And both women file in the car, and he realizes as he's trying to put the car in gear, he says, "Damn thing will only go in reverse." Ah, screw it. And he backs all the way through the entire house, through the brick wall on the other side, out into the road. So I'm gonna take us over there and see where he would have backed the car out. This is such a great movie. James Keach is just perfect in this. He has a weird, like, nervous, like, twitch to his eye that just makes the character even more funny, and the interactions through this are great. He was at one time married to Jane Seymour, and now he does a lot of directing and stuff, and he directed a really fantastic Linda Ronstadt documentary. you should definitely check out. But he doesn't do a whole lot of acting anymore. Now let's go around the corner and I'll show you where he backs the police car through the entire house. And through this, you'll have seen enough matchup shots, you'll know how this all worked. Through the entire house and out the back. To me, this movie is like a staple for the 80s. Like I said earlier, I just don't understand why it wasn't more popular. Maybe the people that were in it weren't super huge names, but this movie was so freaking funny. If you give it a chance, I bet you will laugh all the way through it. It had all the things of a classic movie. So for me to get to see Halik's house and where that whole scene took place that I just described to you, it's one of the things that makes me love being a vlogger. It's funny, they also have a moment where Virginia and the judge are out fighting in the front lawn as well. And the neighbors have a cool pair of lions. So this is the wall. They've replaced the wall since, but he actually comes driving backwards in reverse right out through here and then gets parked right there and stuck. And then we see Dana Cannon and the crew coming in the police car this way towards us. They see Halik stuck here in the middle of the road. So they do a U-turn and drive off down that way. And then Halik throws it in reverse, spins around this way and goes right through there and almost scares that woman over there hiking to death. And you can tell that part of the sidewalk where she jumps is still there, that little indentation. So his car spins around right there and starts going in reverse up this road. The way that you can tell they replaced that original wall is because the entire wall at the time was all level, going all the way across, and here you can see it goes down as the road goes down. So it'd have been right there, that house right there. So to say that this movie is full of colorful characters would be an understatement, but two of the characters that we meet in this movie, one guy is obsessed with horror movies, Wink, and he becomes friends with a guy named Jeff. Now, while the whole chase is happening after this, Wink and Jeff aren't there for it because Jeff's car, since it was impounded, he has to go pick up his dad at the airport, and it was his dad's car. So he and Wink decided to devise a plan of going to a fancy hotel, dressed up as valet. They take the same exact model and year of car that Jeff's dad has, and then they go to the airport, pick up Jeff's dad, and take him home. We're gonna go see where Jeff's dad's home was, where they drop him off at. It's just a few blocks away. Okay, our next location is so close from Deputy Halik's house where we're leaving right now. All you have to do is go up here, follow the street as it curves around, and it's right around the corner. Nice neighborhood, huh? So the house that they use, and they say in the movie when they're stealing the car, say we have to bring it back in an hour, they'll be done eating in an hour. So it's right here. As we make the turn, it looks way different now than it did then, but they pull up right in front. Wink pops out of the back passenger side and then helps the dad out, and they leave him standing there right in the driveway. And they drive off and the dad's like, what the heck's going on here? Just standing there in the driveway. Decided to come out and get some exercise today, get a big walk in before the rain comes. Feels like we're gonna get some rain. Lots of wind, that's for sure. There's a little bit of the workout zone. Over here, the soccer fields. Some basketball going on over here. Even some tennis. Well, my friends, we're gonna call it a day. Thank you all for watching, and like I said, if you want to see this movie, Moving Violations, it's on YouTube. Not a crystal clear version, but considering what we grew up with like in the 80s and 90s, kind of like a television formatted version, so pretty decent, formatted to the size of the TV and everything, so it's worth watching. Thank you all for watching. We'll see you next time. Have a great night, and goodbye.